YouTube? So today's day 33 of our prep. We have close grip, a little bit of a quick turnaround because we just did close grip on Friday. So we're gonna see how this goes. But I gotta be honest with you, I'm not really too worried. We did 240 for a triple last week on the Friday. Now because of our schedule change and stuff like that, we had to kind of boost this up till Tuesdays now. But 255 is on the bar. I gotta move this for a triple. I want this to move at like an 8.5 RPE. And I am wildly confident that this is going to move super well. To the point where I'm debating on whether or not on my first reps to decide to continue and do 2 more, or maybe add some weight, or maybe I'm just talking outside my neck and I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, and this is going to be an RP 10 double. We're going to find out though. So I don't know. Warm-up's moved super well. Bench has been moving super good right now. This will be a close grip PR for me, regardless. Because the only thing I've ever done on close grip heavier than this is singles. And I did work up to a 275 single before on close grip, but a lot of my close grip work that I've ever done has always been like 8 reps, 10 reps, 12, 15. I always kept the volume a lot higher. This is the first time I've really done more low rep, heavier weight type sets with close grip. So we're going to figure this out. We're going to find out. I think this is going to move super well. Very confident in this already. Wow, 255, done. Great, phenomenal. Moved super well. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what else to really say. I thought it moved super good, especially for RP8. I thought the target was like spot on. I think we hit an RP8. That last rep got a lot slower. For me personally, I see a big bar change when it comes to like right before that last like 2 reps. So normally on my 3rd rep to failure, or whatever, however you want to look at it, is normally where I see the bar speed slow down drastically. And that's what we got. So a lot of my RP8 work, that's what it's going to look like. The last rep, if it's a single, if it's a double, triple, whatever, that last rep should move about that bar speed. So I feel like RP8 is where, and when I've talked about this in a video only about bar speed, but you kind of like, the bar speed is not always like this. Like, you should not move the bar the same way that you move like your 1 rep max. There's different speeds that are applied, not even applied, because you are trying to move the bar at the same force, but you're not going to. There's no way you can move an empty bar at the same speed that you can your 1 rep max. If I could talk today at all. But no, I always see the bar speed slow down at RP8. That's where I see it. That last rep on an 8 is always pretty much, for the most part for me, where I start to slow down. Which, for some people, I could see how they can get confused and go, well, I think I'm closer to failure than what I am because the bars slow down so drastically. But I'm pretty in tune with like how personally that I work. And how I work is that last rep is normally the one that slows down. So 255. Let's get back to it. Moved super well. I don't know what I want to do next week. We're going to have to wait till we see how we feel when we get there. Because there's a small, selfish ego part of me that would love to hit 275 for a triple on close grip. But I don't know if it's there. I really don't. But we're going to take a look real quick. Because I got to be honest with you. I think I'm benching more now than I did before. Let's see. I ended my competition grip with a 260 triple last block. there's kind of an argument that can be made that I might be a little stronger on close grip, but I don't quite know yet until we hit the single at the end of this block, and until we finish off the heavy triple at the end of this block, and then we can kind of see which one's stronger. But as of right now, dude, I mean, technically my close grip is stronger, as it sits. So I did 275 on bench for a single, which moved super well, especially benching back-to-back days. I benched 4 days in a row or something like that. Because I benched, no, it was 3. So I benched Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I did Larson on Thursday, close grip on Friday, and then I switched everything up. Did my competition bench on Saturday. And I still was able to hit 275. So we'll see how it is Saturday when we're actually fully rested. I'd love to take out like close to 300. We're gonna see how it goes on Saturday. My comp, this is why it's my competition grip, but basically, as wide as you can go legally, which is your index fingers on the rings. That's always been my strongest grip, and I discovered it kind of honestly just like one of those times I'm like, let me just try it out. Let me just see what I can do here. And I had done like a couple blocks on what I was benching normally, which I was benching my ring finger on the rings, like most people I feel like do. I feel like most people float between like the ring and middle finger, depending on who they are. But I decided after like a few training blocks and I was going to attempt 1 rep max, I was like, you know, we see a lot of stuff about why to do a wider grip, this, that, whatever. So I was like, let me just try it out. I haven't trained for it, but let me try it. You know, a lot of people say beat your shoulders up, whatever. Let me see how it is, blah, blah, blah. So tried it out, slid out to index finger on the ring. I think that was the first time I hit 300. I think it was like 3 or 302. I think it might have been 302 because I used kilo plates at the gym. I forget what the exact number was. But it was the first time I touched 300 or over. And I had not trained that grip at all. And immediately I was stronger. So I decided to, the next couple of training blocks, to try the grip out. And I just basically started back to where I did before, a couple blocks ago, just so I could have a good frame of reference. And I was able to do more weight immediately on like the first couple blocks, or the first block than I did on the last block on my rig. So I was pretty much immediately stronger, and it showed a ton. So most of the time since then my competition has always been stronger. And to be fair, my close grip does seem to have a point where it just stops progressing. I think because of how reliant it is on my triceps. My triceps are very strong, but I think at some point they just tap out. Like it's hard to get my triceps stronger compared to like my chest and shoulder. So you get a little bit more involved when you do that wide grip bench. I don't want to like switch my bench and go from like a max legal to a closer grip, pinkies on the rig, because I don't want to switch it up like that, because I've always been stronger on a wide grip, and I've tried a few times here and there to like test out my closer grip, even to test out like a you know, my ring finger on the rings or my middle finger on the rings, and I just lose a lot of power. I gain a lot off my chest, but I'm not as strong as lockout. I'm honestly not even strong as on that mid range. I don't feel as confident, and that's just because I don't do it, and I get that. But yeah, I do fully understand though that close grip is just my secondary movement. It's what I need. I've talked about it before. I feel like in order to really get stronger on our competition lifts, we as individuals need to figure out what our secondary movement needs to be in order for that to go up. So, great example, deadlift took me a long time, but axle bar is the way that my deadlift goes up. The more my axle bar goes up, the more my competition goes up. You know, I have tried my absolute hardest to do pause deadlift, and my pause deadlift will go up and my competition stays the same. And if anything, my competition feels worse. I feel out of the groove. I feel like that pause really screws me up. It does not help my flow. I have a hard time off the floor, so then pausing off the floor just ruins any type of momentum I feel like I'm building. And I understand what people say, like, oh, we're pausing, blah, blah, blah. I would much rather, personally, for me, see myself do a deficit pause and do a decent enough deficit to where I can pause where the bar would be on the floor on a normal deadlift, just to get myself that part out of the way. Like, I don't want to pause above it. I'd love to be able to pause at or below where the sticking point is. My sticking point on deadlift is the floor. If I can get it off the floor, I can get it up. So I've only ever failed, I think, like 2, maybe 3. I can only think of 2, and they both were in competition. And both of my meets, I feel like both my third attempts deadlifts got them up to my knees, and I just like, my body just like shut down basically, and decided that I was not going to be able to lift it. So other than those 2 occasions that I can think of off the top of my head, if I can get it off the floor, it's coming up. Normally my lockout is my absolute best part of deadlift. So, but axle bar deadlift helps my competition deadlift go up. Close grip deadlift or bench helps my competition bench go up. It's just what personally I need. So if this is strong, which it is, and we just did 255 for a triple, and we're about to maybe do next week 265, 270, 275 for a triple, and that means we're strong, especially compared to our competition, or we're expressing it in a different way. My comp almost has to go up, at least for somebody like me, who responds very well to close grip training. I gotta be honest with you. I only respond to close grip training because of how I do it. Personally, this is how I feel. I've talked about it before. I think I'm doing a short on it. Talked about long form videos. I've had a few people try and clown me about it. I don't go from my hand being out here to a close grip being in here. Like, the crazy difference, personally, this is my opinion on it. The crazy difference on how these are going to affect joint angles is not going to carry over. Now, a super close grip will be a good like tricep builder. If you want to use it as like a secondary movement on like a day like this, like if I want to take my grip in even further and do like a real like close grip, I can see that. But I don't want to use this as like a secondary movement to my bench. This could be like the second or third or fourth movement of the day on a secondary bench, or even my main bench. But like, to have my grip so close, my joint angles are going to be so wildly different than like benching like this and then bringing my arms in slightly. For the most part, my shoulder joint isn't crazy affected by going from here to here. My shoulders like rotate a little bit more. Like you can feel it in the socket if you go like this and bring your arms in. You can feel like in order for your arm to rotate, your shoulder is what's rotating. And then your elbows come in just slightly a little bit. But going from like this drastic, like I'm all the way out max legal to like into here, like my shoulders come in and they're tighter, my elbows are tighter, like everything's more affected. I'm driving more like this than I am like down, and like I don't know a good way to explain that, but I feel like benching out here, like I have more of an angle on my forearm that goes outward, as opposed to here, it's more like tucked, obviously, but I'm driving in a different way. The carryover is just not going to be the same, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, you have a very like extremely wide squat. Your secondary movement should be very narrow. Like, I disagree. Now, you could do very narrow on a belt squat, on a hack squat, because you need to build this and this and this, especially during the offseason, absolutely. But like during knee preps, you're going to see a lot of guys, they're going to do like a wide stance squat, and then they're going to do bell squats, and they're going to just bring their feet in like a little bit. Like they're just going to like scoot their feet in. That's it. They're not going to go from here to here. Like there shouldn't be such a drastic change in it. Just add a little bit of a sweet treat, if you will. Add something just a little tiny bit different.
That's really good.
And we are done. So that's the end of training. Pretty good. everything moved fairly well, to be honest with you. I'm constantly reminded how much my body, I guess how quickly my body can recover from bench. And that's, how do I word it? It always reminds me of the fact that like I have to stay at benching like 3 to 4 times a week. Just because I'm so quick to recover from bench that like taking longer, like benching 1 to 2 times a week just doesn't do it for me, because by the next day I'm pretty much completely recovered from it. So I want to be able to keep the stimulus higher in order to grow. And if I can recover from the fatigue faster, then I can then I can be, what I want to say, be stimulated more, if that makes sense. But obviously I'm very leveraged to bench. I have very short arms. So the only thing that would make me a better bencher is if my shoulders were a little wider. But other than that, I mean, I'm a pretty decent bencher. My arms are very short. I'm very built for it, so I can recover very quick from it. That's why I can recover quick from it, because of the way that I'm built. And because of the way that I'm built, I'm better to recover from it. And then that means that they kind of go back and forth, to be honest with you. But yeah, I can handle a lot of volume on bench. I can recover very well from bench. I can do a lot of crazy stuff on bench, and it really doesn't affect it too much. So yeah, everything's looking pretty good. If I can maybe squeak out 275 for a triple on close grip, and I can hit the single of 300 come neck on Saturday, when we do our RP like 9 singles, if I can get close to 300, I'll feel very confident that 315 will go at the meet. So, and depending on how well everything moves throughout, maybe I can even squeak out a little more. But the goal right now is to hit 315 on bench for sure. I'd love to hit 315. That way, if I can hit 500 on squat and deadlift, then maybe I can do 1,300, have a 1,300 pound meet, which I probably shouldn't be saying right now because I don't really want my goals out there. So maybe I'll just cut this part out. I got to remember to cut this part out. Oh, I forget. Oh, whatever. But yeah, everything moves super well. Super pumped for it. We're going to see how everything works out over the next couple of days. So other than that, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. If you guys watched this entire video, God bless you. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Watch some more of my vlogs on the channel. Subscribe to the channel. We post more vlogs. Honestly, I'd like to post every single day. But training got lower to 4 days a week. And to be honest with you, in order for me to put out 3 videos a week, I can, but I kind of would rather put out better quality videos. So I think I'm just going to stick to 4 vlogs a week for sure. And I'm going to try to put out 1 video on top of that per week. And hopefully it's just like a better quality video where we can talk about the gym equipment, training, programming, stuff like that. Maybe I kind of want to take my time more on that video and just put out a better quality video. And if that means that instead of putting out 2 to 3 additional videos a week, I only put out 1 or 1 every other week or something, and I could edit it a little better or put some more time into it. I think that's what I'm going to do. So, I don't know. Subscribe to my channel, though, and you'll see all my stuff that I put out and when I put it out and how I do it and how whatever I decide to do. But I will post vlogs 4 times a week. Sorry. Every day I train, I'll at least post my vlog, my training for the day. So you guys can kind of see how I'm progressing right now and how I make decisions kind of more in real time, or just kind of how the monotony of training, honestly, how it just can be. So other than that, if you like the video, hit like. If you watched the whole video, God bless you. But I will see you guys in the next video. We're going to do our secondary lower day, which we condense from having a squat day as a secondary and an additional deadlift day. We just combine the 2 of them. This is the one I'm the most worried about when it comes to the fact that I had a lower days. Because these 2 had to merge, I'm worried about time constraints. I'm worried about fatigue. I'm worried about how I'm going to feel after deadlifting, because I'm going to deadlift first and then squat, as opposed to my main day where I squat first and deadlift. I have to worry about what type of fatigue am I going to carry from my axle bar deadlift to my SSBs. I'm supposed to do a Larson press as well, so we have an SBD day on top of that. And it's kind of like, do I have enough time? And when I get done with all that, am I going to have time for any accessories whatsoever? And if so, then I need to do some stuff. If not, then I need to do some stuff. So we're going to figure it out, though. That's Thursday, so I'll see you guys at least on Thursday for my secondary day. So I'll see you guys next video. There's no outro. Video just cuts off. Sorry.